So have you ever noticed that so much military science fiction tends to be co-ed? What's going on here? Unlike masculine fantasies of past warfare, which create extremely male spaces, these idealizations of future military service create spaces where everyone works out together, everyone showers together, and every dude gets a tomboy girlfriend, basically. At first, I was tempted to explain this trend, which has been called the 90210ification of military science fiction, by framing it as part of the sort of romanticization of military service that goes back to military sci-fi's quasi-fascist roots. But then I read Starship Troopers, and let me tell you, there are not many women in it at all. In fact, I think we're looking at something much more idiosyncratic, because the co-edness of military science fiction only begins to crop up with the works that are responses to Starship Troopers, or are critical of Starship Troopers, beginning with The Forever War by Joe Haldeman. Joe Haldeman was a Vietnam vet, and he has described in the past the Forever War as a direct response to Starship Troopers and the way that it glorified military service. Even though the Forever War is critical of some of those fascist tendencies and those fascist aesthetics that Heinlein is susceptible to, it is written in this kind of weird hippy-dippy free love moment, and there is like a ton of barracks sex in this book, to the point that a lot of female readers find it unpalatable, and I understand why. But I think the co-edness thing starts here and then gets kicked further afield by future writers. Paul Verhoeven's film adaptation of Starship Troopers is very famously ideologically at odds with its source material. It's very much making an attempt to satirize its source material, and the weird 90210 stuff is a part of that. But in the process, it does sort of sex up Starship Troopers in a way that wasn't there in the source material. So we see this weird phenomenon happening where you have these politically progressive texts that are almost sexually regressive. There's this male fantasy structure that's creeping into them. And by the time, we get to Battlestar Galactica 2004 or something like Attack on Titan, these tropes are so firmly established that they feel like they're here to stay. Just look at the poster for the shitty new Starfleet Academy show. I don't know. Am I onto something? Is there a paper here? Let me know in the comments.